2016, a time of modern innovation and greatly changing technology. One thing has allowed mankind to spread to the riches we have achieved: trade. Broadly speaking, our entire world was based on trade. Between 600 and 1450 CE, the simple exchange of goods between people allowed sustainability for life and increased the reach of animals, plants, goods and ideas to other places. This in turn brought humankind with it. Pastoral people who tended to animals and nomads who always moved in search of food were the founders of exchange. The trade of luxury goods saw a sharp increase during this time, including goods such as silk, porcelain, spices, metals and slaves. One of the most famous trade routes was the Silk Road in China, which namely carried silk and jade. Ideas were also spread via the Silk Road. From trade branched out much more than this, causing a vastly different era than its predecessors. New York City, a prime example of transportation with bustling traffic and a number of ways to travel. It wasn't until trade became prevalent that transportation took a drastic turn. Through new innovations, travel became more secure and the reaches of man were able to expand far wider than before. The newly invented astrolabe and compass became important directional tools during this time. Even with our newfound knowledge of this technology, we have yet to master its mysterious qualities. Both oceanic and land trade increased along with the invention of camel saddles, caravans and more durable ships. Also during this time, the idea of credit was formed. As trade grew, new empires and political systems emerged. One of these societies was the Islamic nation, based on the ideas of Islam. Founded by the Prophet Muhammad, Islam is a monotheistic religion with belief in their God, Allah. Their teachings are based on the Quran. In this map, you can see the vast spread of the Islamic nation in the green. Ruling in states, they often put pressure on the conquered peoples to convert, using methods such as taxation and outcasting the non-believers. During this time, they ruled over Delhi Sultanates, Abbasids and Muslim Iberia. Next, known for their brutality, were the Mongols. Being talented horse riders and archers, these abilities allowed them to become the largest empire in history. This empire was short-lived, barely lasting from 1200 CE to 1350 CE. However, it left effects long after its destruction. Unlike other societies, the Mongols took on the culture of their conquered people, causing there to be no clear cultural divide. One of the most well-known Mongols was Genghis Khan, who will be explained later in this video. Other important groups of people include Vikings, who used longships in the northern Atlantic, and nomads, who lived in Central Asia and used horses and steppes. Empires rose from safe transport and more people, while some declined from invasion and disease. Besides trade, Period 3 can also be described as the era of new beginnings. Along with goods, ideas and culture spread as well. Some of the spreading languages during this time was Swahili, Turkic languages, and Arabic languages. More importantly, faiths such as Islam, Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism and Hinduism spread quicker than ever. In this map, you can see how religions were spread across the world, with the majority being Roman Catholic, pink, Islamic, green, or the tribal religion, tan. Other things that spread included food, math, philosophy, printing, gunpowder, and disease.
And tragedy.
Starting in the Middle Ages, the Black Plague wiped out anywhere from 25 to 50% of the population. It hit port cities first and spread from there through infected rat fleas. The bubonic plague was the most common form of this. Last from 1300 CE to 1850 CE, this onset of a slightly cooler climate caused the decimation of crops in Eurasia. With the extreme growth of agriculture, the amount of labor across the world skyrocketed, causing new labor systems to be created. Some of these systems included free peasant agriculture, nomadic pastoralism, guild organization, coerced labor, taxed labor and military labor. Many revolts against unfair treatment of laborers broke out during this time period. This can be compared to the fight against slavery of African Americans, except that these laborers were not racially segregated. Muhammad, who was born in 570 CE in Mecca and died in 630 CE, is the central figure of Islam and seen as a prophet. Xuanzang, who was born in 602 CE and died 664 CE, was a Buddhist scholar, monk and explorer in China that described interaction between China and India during the Tang dynasty. Genghis Khan, who was born in 1162 CE and died 1227 CE, was a powerful Mongol leader that conquered a multitude of land in Central Asia and China. It was under his control that the Mongols reached such vast numbers. Kublai Khan was the fifth Khan of the Mongol Empire and conquered China as the first emperor of the Yuan dynasty. Marco Polo was a merchant traveler from Venice who wrote about his travels in a book, allowing Europeans to read about Central Asia and China. Ibn Battuta, who is known as one of the greatest travelers in history, visited a majority of the Islamic world. Going back, it's easy to see how humans both positively and negatively affected their environments, how culture and economy was exchanged as well as goods through trade, and how both new and old political and social structures arose.